Hello everyone, it's Patricia with Mental Health Matters. And today I'm going to continue talking about crisis fatigue, but within your close relationships. You may recall that crisis fatigue is kind of a description that we're using to describe COVID-19 and also some of the other issues that America has kind of gone through this year. It usually looks like stress that is ongoing, unrelenting, and clearly has no end in sight, which is very difficult for most people to adapt to. So some of the signs and symptoms of this kind of crisis is that people are exhausted. They're very tired from the level of stress within their minds and emotions and certainly their bodies. So exhaustion is one. Mood swings, high anxiety, depression, insomnia. Some people have been losing their hair. Some people are cracking their teeth because they're so anxious at night they don't realize that that's what's happening. Some people are angry all the time and they're irritable and they're frustrated. And all of these negative emotions sometimes spill over into those that are closest to us. So let's talk a little bit about how we can cope better with these feelings under this description of crisis fatigue. Because we certainly don't want to damage our intimate relationships, and there is some coping skills I'm going to give you, as well as there's always help out there for those that are struggling. So let's take a look at some of the ways that you can cope better with what's been going on in our country and certainly around the world with the virus. Now remember that the virus is one thing that we're all dealing with in terms of social distancing and wearing our masks or keeping safe, washing our hands a lot. And we've been trying to avoid contact and not going out when we're sick. We're doing all of these things that help us to fight and combat this virus. But on the same token, we're also dealing with a lot of our emotions and our feelings that are wrapped around this crisis. So it's kind of a two-prong approach that's really hitting most Americans. And because we've been in it now since the beginning of the year, it really has been chronic, and it has created a lot of problems for families and people in the workplace, as well as in communities in our nation at large. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do about this. First of all, I would suggest that you really prioritize two really important parts of your life right now. Now, if it's your health, or if it's your work, or if it's your intimate relationships, or if it's organizations and there are other crises that are happening that you want to be a part of, then prioritize those. Spend some real time and energy figuring out ways that you can make that situation better. For example, I know during the Australian fires, many people felt helpless and they wanted to help in some way, so they donated. They wrote checks. They sent money to the American Red Cross and to other organizations. So that's just one example of reaching out, making a priority, and following through with it. So I hope that you will choose one or two really top priorities in your life and give that some real serious thought and energy and plan part of each and every day to work on those two top priorities. Number two, I want you to remember that not everyone thinks the way you do, even inside those intimate relationships. You could be a Democrat and you're married to a Republican. I'm sure you've heard by now all the arguments and the conflicts and the disagreements that have happened within families when they start talking about very sensitive issues that they firmly believe in, like politics or religion. During this time, as we're all heading to the polls, there's even more social media and news broadcasts that are very polarizing for our country right now, and people are discussing it, but sometimes not in a very kind or passionate way. So I'm going to ask you within that intimate relationship to just step back a little bit and stop pressuring people to think the way you do. You can love them and they can have totally different feelings and thoughts and opinions. And I'm asking you to kind of respect that and acknowledge that and really just don't go there, because sometimes that pressure is conceived to be very attacking. And I think we've seen a lot of that within families and within couples. Happy to report, though, that many are seeking counseling for some of these ongoing struggles and conflicts within that intimate relationship. So that's number 2. Don't push too hard and try to respect each other's opinion. Number 3, if you are working at home or even in the office, I'm going to ask you to take a lot of different breaks during the day. I know that many are very fortunate to be able to work at home, but it's difficult to balance work and home when you are at home. So I want you to step away from that computer, step away from your emails, go outside, go for a quick walk, do some stretches, even take a yoga class, do a little Zooming, listen to your favorite playlist, get out and enjoy your time, and take numerous breaks, because that's going to help reduce the stress that builds up during the workday. And third, I want you to find things that really make you happy and bring you joy, whether it's cooking or dancing in your pajamas or listening to that great soundtrack or making something for someone. I've been busy making a lot of scarves and sending them out to my family. So do things that make you happy. And remember that with that joy and with that giving, you're going to find a sense of peace. And so number 4, I'm going to ask you to get more exercise. I want you to find a buddy if you can, and if not, just go on outside and take a nice long walk. Most of the country is beautiful today. It's fall, the air is crisp, the leaves are changing, and that's going to help boost not only your mood, but the endorphins to that brain of yours, and also just make you feel better. And last but not least, as my mom used to always say, this too shall pass, and it will. I'm sure that we are going to find solutions to COVID-19 and all of the other issues that we're facing right now. The elections will come to an end, and I'm hoping for some peace and some balance within our country, and certainly within our homes and within inside those beautiful, loving relationships. So I hope these tips have been helpful. When in doubt, I want you to seek some support from outside. Go to your therapist, make a counseling appointment, check in with your doctor. If you're on medications or you have a psychiatrist, make an appointment. There is so much help out there for each and every one of you. You don't need to suffer, and you don't need to prolong any more of this ongoing stress that you somehow can't find a way through. So please seek some help. All right, this is Patricia once again with Mental Health Matters. Please feel free to leave me any questions or comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. I want to thank you for listening. Have a great week, everybody. This crisis fatigue will end, and I'm sure that it's going to be a great new year. All right, everyone, take good care of yourself. I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Patricia, Mental Health Matters. Bye.